This is WBZ TV Channel 4 Boston, and it's time now for Telesports Digest for this Thursday, September 6, 1951. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins. That is what's happening alongside Mr. Bob Padley here. In New York, Leo Kiley, a 21-year-old southpaw, is a toast of the Red Sox today at the Beetle Broad Ricky's trusted catcher, Brazard, in return. There's a guy who did it for me and claimed Kiley pointed to the chunky catcher. No kidding, I mean it. Brazard is great. Give him credit. He has done a great job for me this year. He was a bit self-conscious about all of the attention he was receiving, that probably because he knew that his teammates were spouting superlatives like a bunch of Hollywood publicity men on his performance that dropped the Yankees out of first place and to within 3 games of the holes. One of his biggest boosters was Brazard. What a comparator that kid is, and Fizz usually plays with backstop. He has all the courage in the world. He has what to do when he does it. He's one a hell of a pitcher. He surprised a lot of people at a Dom DiMaggio, but we weren't surprised. I knew he'd be great. I said before the game, that is, that we could get him a couple of runs. That's all I need. That kid doesn't give up any runs. He lays that ball and there he makes them hit it. They don't hit it very well. He's a perfect control and he's smart. He's a good pitcher now. He'll be great. Of course, he's bound to suffer some if he goes in the Army. That's too bad, but it can't be helped. But whenever that kid pitches, no one should be surprised that he turns in a swell game. That fact that Kelly had to be helped by Mario McDermott and the 8 failed to temper the Red Sox praise. Even manager Casey Stengel couldn't help but give the kid all the credit in the world. It looks like they might have taken him out just at the right time. But you never know. He had been in trouble before. They ate it a couple of times and threw up those double play pitches. He might have struck out the next 2 men. You just had 112. Kid, he's a fine pitcher. In Seattle, the Seattle Mariners clinched the 1951 Pacific Coast League ball pennant last night. Bespectacled right-hander Charlie Shands bobbled in the ninth before, forcing Oakland pitcher to raise Lamano to hit a double play with 2 men on the board, giving us Seattle the 4-2 victory and the PCL title of 1951. Good business assets for that clean-cut, well-groomed look. Hyman Brothers quality suits and unusual fabric, smartly styled for fabric. At Hyman Brothers Clothiers at 619 Washington Street. With only 14 actual practice days before its opener against formerly coach Springfield, Harvard started its second year rebuilding today as Coach Lloyd Jordan greeted 47 candidates at Soldiers Field and observed that we should better than last year. This squad is more advanced than last year's group was at the stage he offered, and to prove his point, he announced that the squad would run the plays later this afternoon. We will start contact work next Monday. We will be on double sessions from now on until September 18th when classes begin. Jordan continued. Referring to this year's more contingent Jordan opinion that we should get some help in the line as a contrast to last year when most of the good sophomores were backfield men. Jordan, who took over the reins last year after a long tenure at Armors, announced that the Crimson will stick to the single wing. Thus, Harvard remains only college in this area to employ that offense since Brandeis and Tufts are shifted to T. As to whether or not the Crimson will employ the 2 platoon system of the season, Jordan was non-committal. The Prairies will have to learn both the offensive and defensive signals he offered. But that is to say, we don't employ several weight players. Jordan and his staff have work cut out for them since they faced the same schedule that left them with a record of 1 win against 7 losses last season. A dozen lettermen were lost at the graduation, but 20 veterans, including Captain Carol Lowenstein of Malden, were back. In addition, Jordan was relying on a half-dozen sophomores who were sent out to last year's mediocre freshman team. There are Fremont Smith, a guard, Tom Coach, center, Bill Weber, quarterback, Brian Reynolds, fullback, John Solenko, right half, and Dick Clasby, left field. Brandeis and Tufts both shifted to the T. The president of both kids were present at the T quarterbacks. The judges have Billy Billups, a 6'3" Negro from New Rochelle, a Tufts coach Fred of Ellis as a sophomore passes Bob Meehan of Brookline and Tommy Myers of Arlington. We're not playing single wing because we have no spinners, said Friedman. Can't teach a spinner overnight. We also have another T quarterback back in freshman Tommy Egan at Brookline. There was Dick Cunningham, a Malden who quarterback last year. The judges played their opener against Reagan, New Hampshire on September 29th at Marcus Field. The turf is about the best in the area as Friedman reports that there will be 4,800 seats. So the opening stands about 10,000 will be up before the season is over. But this ends in Italy being brought from Milwaukee. Benny will have the 3 backfields, Powerhouse, Pony, and Intermediate. The Powerhouse will be average 200 pounds and Pony 150. Our biggest problem says Freeman will be youth and inexperience. Else tried the 3 years ago at the Tufts, but it didn't work too well. In addition to me and Myers, he has our freshman quarterback will be football-wise. He is Tommy Castle, son of St. Clement's coach. Young Tommy played at St. Clement's and then spent a year at the St. John's Episcopal Academy in Maryland. In Punkball Golf Club, 2 upsets in the major proportions feature play in the second round of the senior division of the annual CYO tournament. Here today as Ed Arbino of Newton Austin, defending champion Vin Plensky at the home club, and Bob Kelly of Belmont eliminated Bill McCarthy of Walston. Arbino's margin over the Plensky, who won the senior crown 2 years running, was seeking to retire the cup this year, was 4-2 to Kelly disposed of McCarthy State junior titleist last year 5-4. In other matches from prevailed, however, as medalist Tommy Taylor of Brookline defeated Paul Sweeney of the host club 3-2, and Ken Campbell of Walston vanquished Ed Finley of Jamaica playing 4-3. Why did not they advance to the quarterfinals? And Larry Warren of Cambridge defeated Dick Spillane of Belmont, Tom Megan Jr. of Belmont, Arthur Wilford Hines of Bridge Brighton. On the 19th hole, Bryce Derishers of Watertown prevailed over Bill Burke of Rosendale 2-1, and Tom Dolan Jr. quickly eliminated fellow townsman Tony Movesti 1-up. In New York, George Floyd's 20-year-old Brookline boxer was buried today while 2 investigative groups probed the reason of the ring death. The District Attorney's Office has continued an investigation of circumstances leading to a fatal accident, and the State Athletic Commission said it planned to hold a public hearing. Assistant DA Alexander Herman said the prosecutor's office has not decided whether to place the facts of the death before the September grand jury. In New York, Jack Zipwest, under indictment in the basketball fixing scandal, surrendered to District Attorney Francis Hogan today. He had been objected to a nationwide search since July 24th, when it was revealed that the All-American guard Gene Melchior Bradley was offered a bribe to the field in the championship game against the City College of New York in the finals on the NCAA tournament on March of 1950. West and the 4 others were named in the 2-count indictment. In San Francisco, Frank Leftwich will turn down jobs managing Major League clubs that stick with proud of the sales for 17 years will be among baseball's unemployed when the Coast League season ends on Sunday. He's a victim of both unforeseen circumstances. Paul I. Fagan, owner of the sales and announced that intends to split in baseball, lease at the stadium, and selling the franchise and player contracts. At the same time, he directed his club secretary to notify O'Doul that his services will be terminated when the season concludes. Albany, New York, Lloyd Mangren and Jim Ferry 1-2 in the Golf Money winning derby. Head of the 140 man field at today's opening round, and they went $15 all Empire State Open. Mangren in Chicago and Ferry of San Francisco were placed in the same threesome along with Johnny Galkas of Carlos, New York. Skip Alexander, defending champion from St. Petersburg, for the move down and out with company with Ed Porky Oliver of Seattle, Washington, and Joe Kirkwood Jr. of Hollywood. Of name golfers include George Fazio, Marty Fergal, Clayton Hefner, Ski Rigel, Jim Trinesa, Bob Tosky, Jen Glenteal, and Bill Ziski. In Cincinnati, every member of the Cincinnati Reds is on the trader block. Warren Gallus, president of the club, announced today. Last winter, we tried to make some deals without bringing it up to our pitcher and staff. Josh said men like Errol Brackner, Ken Ravensberger, Herman Weimer, and Howard Fox were not available in the deal. Now we know that we want to make a deal. We may have to give up one of our pitchers, and we're ready to do anything to improve the club. In Flint, Michigan, the Flint Arrows claimed an attendance record today. Only 2 people in their seats into the 16,000 seat stadium saw the Grand Rapids beat the Arrows 1-0 last night to set an all-time low attendance record. Flint is 50.5 games out of the first place in the Central League. ENIAC, a team of 124 events, included 22 championships and $31,775, and prizes will be offered at the 63rd National Horse Show at Madison Square Garden on October 30th to November 6th. Competition between the all-civilian U.S. team and foreign and military teams will feature that show. Women riders will be on the American team last year for the first time in their international championship. We are again expected to help U.S. honors against Brazil, Canada, Ireland, and Mexico. Argentina and Spain also may enter. Boston Braves will be at Braves Field taking on the New York Giants says until this year, Sheldon Jones, Giants pitcher, who racked up his fifth grader this season in the first game of the Tri-Night doubleheader. Had been a winning pitcher. He won 44 games in the last 3 seasons. Outcome, he has a per record 5-10 this season. Just the Bank stated, Jones, my pitching is good as I, but the $7 were way up. And in the 6th, the Braves had Rezon's second and first with one only went out. Will Marshall put a line drive down the line that with me. Luckman speared to the double. Walker Cooper first, and there was a whir. Lady Luck gave me the first break of the season. There was a lot of discouragement time, but you can't give up. That win over the Braves was my first complete game. Jones would get the tackle of it available with Oklahoma City in the Texas League, and Roger Tormsey was the manager. Sheldon was available for pitcher during my first full season with the Giants. 49 was in 55 ball games and turned it at 16-8. Jones makes his home in Williamstown. He met a young lady, Yvette Gowdy, who was set to become Mrs. Jones only if he would make his home in Williamstown. During the off-season, I have a half-hour sports podcast from the station WMBN in North Adams when I'm not hunting beer and deer in the Berkshires. Teaching David, my 7-year-old son, how to become a big league pitcher. Available concluded. When Eddie Sansky was called out to strikes by umpire Lee Belafonte, he had his usual few words about the decision. But if the chest protecting in the field, Lee gave him a thumb. Manager Lee DeRocha came into the discussion and added pyrotechnics all for all. Sam Jeffrey, after being on the infield single in the first inning, told 32nd base. Sam, however, underestimated Monty Irvin down at Earl Turgeon's drop. Monty double 7-2. Paul Miller busted a double. Walker Cooper did 16 homer to keep the count. And Lobert, Braves modern pitcher from Frisco, hadn't shown up. General Manager Quinn had a phone call from him in his home in Nitro, West Virginia. Monty Irvin made out one of the most spectacular plays this evening when he one-handed Johnny Logan's ball smack drive out of left field. The Giants built to Jim Wilson for 3 hits and 2 runs in the first 8. Giants went to the bat, and there were 3 on when Western lined to Elliott for the third out. Wilson appeared to have regained his composure in the second and third, and then the Giants went to work on him, and they whacked up with 5 more. Climax by Monty Irvin, 3-run homer in his 18th. Red Sox, you have a doubleheader against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium tonight, and the Braves will be at Braves Field taking on the New York Giants at Braves Field tonight. In New York, there will be a top-flight college football game almost every Saturday this fall for the man who wants to relax in his parlor and enjoy that sport on his TV set. At Patrick, one game schedule quickly put it west, and he fears that the National College Athletic Association one-year experimental program will mean a lean home 9 games under the program. The fact fans will be able to see the games on TV. The otherwise will be denied them. The Big Ten and the Pacific Coast will be banned. Live television will participate in the natural venture. 7 of the telecasts, including the one at the Harvard Dortmund game on Twitter 7, will be carried by station WBZ-TV Boston. In Cincinnati, 23 U.S. Davis Cup tennis player was sworn into the Navy here yesterday and will report to Bainbridge, Maryland training station on September 24th. And Waltham High may not win the state school board football championship this year, but when it happens, it will be for the lack of captain schools for them. Trust as many as them before. And that's going to be it for the sports Telesports Digest on the Thursday, September 6th, 1931. PJ with you. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.